Hey guys, I haven't put out a video recently, so I was really excited to show you some of the air plants I've had, the progress on the ones that I do have, so I'm just going to get right into it, and I'm going to start with the ones that are in a previous video. I don't know how to link it down below, but if you go back, it's the only air plant video that I've kind of posted. So go back, it's called Air Plants and Unbagging or something like that. So I will show you those ones first. Here we go. So because I don't like to pronounce the names, I've got this little cheat sheet here so I can just point to the ones that I do have the names of. I don't have the names for all of them, and some of them I couldn't remember. But the first one I'm going to show you is this one here. This is in my original video. In the original video, it actually had two spikes, and this was the main plant. That's all there was. But now it's been a while since I put out that video. But it's got these two beautiful pups growing. In fact, this one is bigger than the mother plant almost. Well, not bigger, but almost as large. So this plant is thriving. It's my favorite air plant. It's hard to see in this light. That lighting's a little bit better. So you can get a better idea of what's going on with this plant. These roots are dried up. I have a really hard time keeping air plants roots alive in my environment because it's not humid enough. At the end of the video, I'll get into how I care for my air plants, but at this point, I'm just going to show you each of them, and then at the end, if you would like to hear how I keep them alive, just stay tuned. The next one I'm going to show you is this one here. I think it's pronounced Juncea, but I'm not really sure. This is my largest air plant. You can tell it's quite big. It hangs as well as the last one. And this one does pretty well in my environment. The only thing is that any of the finer leafed air plants, they tend to get dry faster, and I don't water them as much as they would probably like to be watered, but he does thrive. He's got a whole bunch of new leaves growing. And that's this guy here. Just to give you a better idea, that's the way this one looks hanging. This is the last one that was in my previous video. This one's name is right here. There's a few different kinds of that variety, but I'm not sure specifically which one this is. But this one I've actually bought a piece of driftwood and hot glued it to, which doesn't bother the plant at all. At least I haven't found it has. And this one has a small pup as well, if you can see it right there. So this looks pretty cool. It did have a smaller air plant up here on this ledge, but the small ones are so hard to keep, and I forgot about him, and then he dried out. So yeah, that's this guy. Now we're going to get to the new stuff. This one here, I actually really like this one. He's stiff, you can kind of see that. He's got some new leaves growing, so this guy's pretty happy. This one does really well in my environment, not picky at all, just a happy little air plant, so I'm a big fan of this one. This one is also new. This one hangs and has a nice little curl to it. This one is also hard to keep moist, again, for the same reason as the bigger one, that it has very fine leaves and it just dries out easily, but I've adjusted my watering, and it seems to be doing better. It has new leaves. The leaves grow out of the center of the plant, so you can kind of see how there is younger, newer leaves sprouting out of the center. So this guy is also happy. This one here I actually do have this is the last one I know the name of, or could remember the name of. And this one's different than the other ones. Its leaves are really pliable, it's softer. It never goes the dark green color. It always seems, even after watering, to be this lighter green, almost whitish gray color. This one's name is this one here. And I've had this one for quite a while. I think the last air plant video I posted was about 8 months ago, and I might have gotten this one just after. So it's got a whole lot of new growth happening, all at the crown here that you can see. And this one's quite nice. The only problem with this one I find is if the leaves get bent in any way, especially after watering, if you let them dry out in a certain position, the leaves never go back. So you can see it's got some weird looking leaves on the edges, but the inside leaves I'm being more careful with, so this one should be just fine. So this one, as you can see, is a little bit crispy along the outer leaves, the tips of the leaves I should say. This one's very hard to keep moist. I water this one 3 times a week, and it's still not necessarily pleased with me at this point. The new leaves in the center are doing better, no more crunchy, but I do need to keep up on waterings with this guy. But isn't he cute? This is another different leafed air plant, or a different textured leaf, I should say. They're very smooth. They don't seem to go white when they dry like the other air plants. The other air plants almost have a velvety texture. This one is just completely smooth. You can almost see it. but I'm not a big fan of these ones because they are just sort of pointy and hard, and you can't really see a lot of change in them when they're growing and things like that, but I haven't seen it bloom, so maybe it will become one of my favorites. Once again, if you know the name of this guy, let me know. Last and actually least, this one is my least favorite air plant. The reason is, well, you can kind of tell just by looking at it. It's super velvety, so this has just been watered, and it was watered yesterday, I should say, so it just dries out and looks all white and ugly. It did have, when it was healthy and happy, a bunch of kind of bulby looking ends, so it looked kind of interesting when it was healthy. It has put on a few new leaves since I've been taking better care of it. I found the problem was I was keeping it upright in a jar. Water was getting into the inside of the leaves in here, wasn't drying out, it got sick, dropped a bunch of its outer leaves, so now I just water it and hang it upside down and I don't have any problems, but it's going to take a long time for this air plant to look nice again, I think. So thanks for watching, guys. If you made it to the end of this video, thank you. I hope you enjoyed seeing the different kinds of air plants I've been keeping. I hope to give you an update on them in the future, and I hope that you enjoyed seeing the ones that I have showed in a previous video. Like I said, if you haven't seen that video, go ahead and go watch that video now. I can't link it down below because of the app I'm using to upload these videos, but I might be able to figure that out in the future. So thanks again. Have a great day. Bye.